Hi everyone, it's me Alexandra and I am back with another lesson in Baseldeutsch. So I am someone who likes to learn languages and I am learning Baseldeutsch, which is a Swiss dialect used in the canton Baselstadt and also Baselland. The way I do it is I read a Fasnacht. These are things that you get during the carnival that look like this. They are written in the local dialect and I find it absolutely fascinating, and it's my hobby to teach myself the language and find new words and new meanings to these words to better understand the culture and the people and the language. So I am happy to share this experience with you to get you into seeing how I do it and to follow along with me. So this one is called 30 Jaar Regenbogenfish. So we'll jump right into it, but just so you know, the way I learn Baseldeutsch is, of course, through listening, to speaking it at home with my partner, and also I have some resources to help me. I love the Salizama Baseldeutsch book, which I received as a present. I also have the Baseldeutsch Wörterbuch. This is the dictionary, and I found a really cool resource while doing this video. I stumbled upon it online by accident, and it's basically like a PDF that I printed out for myself, that was kindly made by the Fludery clique. Yeah, one of the cliques that are walking around during the Basler carnival, the Fasnacht. And this is basically a set of words used very often during the Basler carnival, the Basler Fasnacht. So it actually came in very handy when I was translating some of the stuff that I couldn't really understand. So the way I did it this time is, as usual, I took this Schnitzelbank-Zettel and I scanned it. So I will take you now to the screen of my computer so that we can go through this poem together and see what it's all about. So just bear with me, please. Okay. Here we go. I'm just gonna make this bigger. So, Schnuffer und Schnucke von der alten Richtung, Fasnacht 2023. This is the group that put this poem together. And this poem is called 30 Jaar Regenbogenfish. So 30 years of the Rainbowfish. The Rainbowfish, I'm just going to take you right now to the side screen. I did a little bit of Googling, and the Regenbogenfish is actually a story about a rainbow fish. Looks like this. And the rainbowfish is a fish that, I even saved it here. So basically, yeah, it's a very colorful fish. And it's very vain and it doesn't share very well, and then it learns throughout the book. Sorry to spoil the book for some of you, but basically the story goes that it learns to share by giving away its scales. And let's go right into it. So just keep that in mind. The Regenbogenfish is a story of a fish that is sharing its scales. This story was published in 1992, I believe, when I was Googling it. So the poem is sort of dedicated to it being 30 years. So let's go. Mit kurzem Schwung und ganz grazil schwimmt der Fisch, und zwar mit viel Tempo durch die braune Suppe. So with short swings and very graceful, swims this fish, und zwar mit viel. This fish is swimming with a lot, of tempo through the brown soup. Doch fehlen ihm die schöne Schuppe. But the beautiful scales are missing from him. Vor 30 Jahren, es fliegt die Zeit, hat auch der alte Lied, der kleine und der grosse Bube, der Mädli und die noch schauen, eine Schuppe geben, dass Freunde findet, denn Teile ist, was die Leute verbindet. So, this means 30 years ago, wow, how the time flies, es fliegt die Zeit, hat auch der alte Lied, he also gave the older people, the smaller and the bigger boys, the girls, and those who you have to be careful how you call them. I guess this is a pun about, all the gender identity discussions. A Schuppe gave, so he gave scales, dass Freunde findet, that he'll find friends. Denn Teile ist, was die Leute verbindet. Because sharing is what brings the people together. So, drum denkt sich, hey oder no, jetzt will ich mal an die Fasnacht gehen. And this is why he's thinking to himself, hey oder no. So, heyo, it's like hey, der no is danach. So, heyo, afterwards, I would like to go to the Fasnacht. Und die Stimmung dort schnuppern, vielleicht in den Piccolo blubbern, vielleicht mal auf eine Trommel klopfen oder aber ohne Kostüm stopfen. So this means, und die Stimmung dort schnuppern means, and the atmosphere. So I'm gonna go to the Fasnacht and check out the atmosphere there. Maybe I will blow in a piccolo. So piccolo is like a small flute that is being used in Fasnacht, very characteristic of the holiday. Vielleicht mal auf eine Trommel klopfen. So maybe I will bang on some drums, also very characteristic of the Basler Fasnacht. Oder jemand ohne Kostüm stopfen. Or maybe I will stuff someone without a costume. So basically what happens during Fasnacht is there's a lot of confetti, which are called rappli, and people who are either not wearing a costume or not wearing a blaguette, which is like a pin that you buy to show your support for the carnival. Basically, if you're not wearing those things, you are at risk of being stuffed by confetti. So this is what this is referring to. Wer weiß, vielleicht hat ja ein dort etwas von meiner Schuppe gehört. So this means, who knows, maybe someone over there heard something about my scales. So this fish is out and about looking for his scales. He has no scales on him, and he's going to Fasnacht to check it out, to see if he sees or hears something about it. So gumpt aus dem Wasser raus. This means gumpt. So gumpen is springen. It's like jumping in Baseldeutsch. I also know that, for example, a grasshopper is a Heugumpe in Schweizerdeutsch. So there you have it. So gumpt aus dem Wasser raus. He's jumping out of the water und merkt dann, dass ihn gerade grusen. A Guggenfisch bloßt in the Posaune. So as he's jumping out of the water, he's noticing something that makes him, something that's kind of gross. He sees a Guggenfisch. So how do I say this? So a Gugge is in the Fasnacht. You have people walking around, and they are blowing and they're basically making music. So the Gugges are the ones who are playing trumpets and other instruments to to mostly famous melodies that a lot of people know, and they don't necessarily have to be Swiss melodies. A lot of times it's English and German. So these are groups that are walking together and are making music. They're pretty loud. People love to gather around and cheer them on and look at them and dance along and sing along, and it really creates a nice atmosphere during Fasnacht. So these are Gucke music. And here he's saying he sees a Guckefish blåst in the posune. So blåst means like he's blowing into the trombone. Posaune is like a Posaune in Hochdeutsch, in High German, and it means the trombone. Doch, dann kommt just in Stunde. Was hat denn da für Glocke? Da halt's mir grad der Schlepp von Böckle. Trotz Glocke seht es ist kein Kühle. Das Lachen gehört doch zum Uli. So he sees the fish playing the instrument. Then he's astounded. He's coming to become astounded. Was hat dann für Glocke? So what is there for fun bells? What are these funny bells that he's hearing? Da haut's mir grad der Schlepp von Böckli. So Schlepp von Böckli is like a slap in the face. So Böckli are cheeks, and he's basically saying he's experiencing like a slap in the face. Trotz Glocke sieht es ist kein Kühle, das Lachen gehört doch zum Uli. So through the Glocke, so through the bells, he sees that it's not a cow, and this laugh belongs to Uli. Uli, let me just show you quickly. Uli is one of the costumes that is a traditional costume in the Fasnacht. So there's a website, very cool, Basler Fasnacht info. You can kind of read a lot about the Fasnacht, also use it as a reference. And the Uli looks like this. So by the way, just so you know, there's several costumes that are featured in every Fasnacht, and by featured I mean you will see people dressing up as these characters, and each has their own meaning. So they have their own way of dressing, but they also symbolize something. So for example, here he is like a middle-aged Hofner, das Attribut, auch keine Kostümfrage. So he's basically like a middle-aged, you know what? Give me 1 second. I forgot what a Hofner means. Okay, jester. Yeah, it's not a commonly used word in English, so this is why I forgot what Hofnar is. Yeah, so basically Uli is a jester. He looks like this, and you see he has a lot of bells. So this is why he hears bells. This fish without scales goes to the Fasnacht. He hears these bells. He thinks it's a cow, but it's not a cow. It's actually this Uli. So let's go back to the... So, trotz Glocke sieht es ist kein Kühle, das Lachen gehört doch zum Uli. So the laugh belongs to Uli. Beim Weitergehen kommt nicht weit. Dann hört aufs Mal Klapperschritt. As he's trying to go further, he doesn't come far until he hears Glapperschritt. A Glapperschritt is like how can I say this? Glapperschritt. It's like a clap step. So he hears like clap, 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 clap. Someone's walking. And for some context, just so you know, during Fasnacht you will or may have seen a lot of people wear these chunky wooden shoes, kind of like the ones that they have in Holland. So these shoes are also popular in the Fasnacht, and obviously when you walk in them, because they are either plastic or wood, they make this sort of clapping sound by stepping. Es packt dann die Angst, es stehen schon die Hår, ist es extra Janis als Major. So after he hears this clap step, he becomes angst and he gets scared. His hair begins to stand up, and he's harrowing. So Angst is like Angst from Eggen in High German, which means harrowing, which means disturbing. So he's disturbed that he thinks, this one I'm not quite sure I understand this reference to Yannis. Maybe it's a famous person, but I couldn't find anything when I was looking in the internet, so this is a little bit too inside for me. But he recognizes that the Major, the leader of the Gucke, is this Yannis person. And the Major is in every Gucke clique, so in every Gucke music there's a guy standing who is kind of like the master, so the one that sets the tone. He tells the group which song they will play, and he basically he has like the two sticks in his hands to show the others like how high and how low to go, like as if it was a real performance, like a in a real concert with real musicians, where they have to follow the person who is moving the two sticks up and down. I forgot what this is called in English. Dirigeur. I know what it's called in French, but give me 1 second, I will tell you what it's called in English. Dirigeur. Director? I have a feeling that for the music it's not really a director. But anyways, it's the guy who's leading the music, right? So yeah, he's hearing the steps, he turns around, his hair is standing up, he has fear. Is it really Janis as the mayor? So not the mayor, but this leader of the music. Wo im Takt tut dirigieren. Who is, dirigieren is like this, like he's moving the sticks up and down to lead the music intact. Und durch die Gasse navigieren, and through the street navigate. So you know how in German they put the verb at the end, so he's basically saying he's leading the music and he's also navigating through the streets. Dann fasst er Mut und denkt, jetzt pack ich's und dreh mich zack, wackis. Then he's collecting his bravery and thinks, now I'm kind of, so packis means pack ich es, so I'm gonna like pack it up and dreh mich and turn around. Zack, Avakis. So he sees Avakis. And Avakis is another character in the Fasnacht. And it actually goes on to describe Avakis, and I will show you him in just a second. So the description is: a Riesennase, Horus Bast, unsere Fischli stürchlet fast. So a Riesennase means a gigantic nose, and Horus Bast. So just so you know, Avakis looks like this. He is known to have a long nose, and his hair is usually made out of like this straw thing. And this is supposed to be a caricature for an Elsass. So as you know, Basel is on the border with France and Germany, and the French part that borders Basel, it's actually a region in France called Alsace. which was historically fought over between the French and the Germans, and it did go back and forth a few times, and now it belongs to France. And these people from the region, they are called Alsace, just so you know. So the Vagis looks like this. On the Fasnacht, you will see them, sticking their heads out of wagons. They're throwing out oranges. These are these shoes, by the way, that make the stomping sound. And the kids will usually scream Vagis, Vagis. They will try to get some candy, and usually the Vagis will either throw the rapli, which is the confetti, or they will throw them, little goodies. So kids love this stuff. So he sees the Vagis, he describes the Vagis. Unsere Fischli stürchelt fast. So our Fischli, so fish is obviously a fish, and stürchelt fast. Stürchelt means like he's almost tripping. So fast is about to or almost. And almost trips. Mit dem Schreck rennt davon und lässt den Vagis einfach stehen. With a scream, he runs away from him and lets the Vagis just stand there. Wie eine Bigte Ecke, die Alge bleibt im Hals fast stecken. So as he's making a turn at the corner, the algae gets like stuck in his neck, right? So in his throat. Touch fast in so einer Waage. Können Sie nicht Excuse sagen? Da tippt der Finger auf seinen Rücken. Das Fischli tut grad zusammenzucken. So. He gets the algae almost stuck in his throat because he hits a wagon. And he hears, can you not say excuse me? And he's tipped a finger of Siruke, so he's showing the finger to his back. The fish tut grad zusammenzucken, so the fish is like trying to collect himself. By the way, this word I just learned it today, zusammenzucken, it means zusammenzugen auf Hochdeutsch, and this means to put together. So he's trying to put himself together. A Scheissdreckziegli sucht seine Route. A Scheissdreckziegli is, by the way, and here's where this this resource that I downloaded came in very helpful, because you can see that a Scheissdreckziegli, and I knew what this was because this is actually a common one, but it's a small carnival march with a few participants. So sometimes in the carnival you will see smaller groups of 2, 3, maybe 5 people walking together and making music. Sometimes you just see one guy alone playing drums or one lady alone playing the flute, and it's really cool. But basically, whenever you have a smaller group that are not like one of the big cliques, which are 20 plus people. So whenever you have a small one, it's called a Scheissdreckziegli. And actually, Scheissdreck is kind of like a bad word. It's like dirt. Like Scheiss like Scheiße, and then Dreck is dirt. Scheissdreckziegli. A Zügli is like a little train, so it's like a little. Oh God, how would I even say this in English? It's like a dirty. A shit dirt train sucht sie Route. Yeah, so this little train, so this little group of a few people is looking for their route. Und hinter dran, mit 2 Stuten, kommt ein Schäs mit 2 alten Tanten mit dem Gesicht von Falten. So as this little Scheissdreckziegli is looking for his way, behind them with two mares, so with two female horses, comes a carriage with two alte Tante. So an alte Tante is one of the typical costumes in Fasnacht, and this means old aunt. Here's the alte Tante. Looks like this. Yeah. And actually, it's die alte Tante kann als Nachmachung oder Karikatur einer vornehmen älteren Dame in Oberschicht Basels gesehen werden. Yeah, it's like a typical character that is like a caricature also of the Basler people, the people of Basel. This old lady. So behind the Shisra Zugli, he sees a carriage being pulled by two horses. And in this carriage he sees these two alte Tante mit dem Gesicht von Falte. So these two old aunts with a face filled with wrinkles. Doch niemand sieht das Fischli Schuppe, tut sich sie Besuch als Bock und Puppe. So, but nowhere does the fish see his scales that he is looking for. Does that mean that his visit will turn out to be a flop? Traurig geht zurück an Rhein. So sad he returns to the Rhine und schaut dort ins Wasser drein. And he's looking in the water there. In Spiegelbild sieht a Spätzle. So in the reflection of the water he sees a little, what do you call those? Like the little brown birds, not pigeons, but the little ones. I'm blanking out what they're called in English. But basically, yeah, he sees a little bird. So Spätzle is actually also like a food, as you know, in Germany and in Austria and in Switzerland. But actually it is I can tell you in just 1 second what I think it's like sparrow or something. Spätzle. Give me 1 second. Spatz. Sparrow. Oh, I'm good. So he sees a sparrow in the reflection of the water in the Rhine. Und daneben ganz viel Blätzli. And next to the sparrow, he sees a bunch of Blätzli is like clothes, like clothes, like pieces of cloth. Dreht sich und sieht the Bias. So the Bias is another Halloween costume. Jesus Christ. This is the Blätzli Bias. He has a lot of... so basically his costume consists of like these pieces of cloth that are layered one on top of another. Very cool looking. When you actually see them in the Fasnacht walking around, they look pretty cool. And he is supposed to represent an Italian guy. Like a comedic Italian guy, actually. There's a deeper story about who this Italian guy is supposed to be, but I'll just leave it at that for now. Dreht sich und sieht ein Bias. Vor Freude kommt ins Kielennass. So, out of happiness, he jumps into the cold nass. So nass is like the wetness. Und zurück grad zu dem Kurligma. So, and then back to, so grad gerade is like right back to the curly man. I guess because of all the the little pieces of cloth that he has around him. Darf ich eins von deinen Blätzli haben? So he's asking, can I please have one of your little pieces of clothes? And the Bayas says, klar, aber nur, weil du das bist. Dann gange jetzt als Blätzli Bayas Fisch. So the Bayas says, yes, I mean, of course, klar means like clearly, but only because it's you. And then the fish responds to him, then I will go now. So I will be now I will be known as Blätzli Bayas fish. So the Blätzli Bayas is the costume of this Italian guy, and because the Italian guy costume guy gave him a piece of the cloth from his costume, kind of like how the story goes where the fish is sharing their scales. So now the fish receives a piece of cloth from this Blätzli Bayas, and he says, I will now call myself Blätzli Bayas fish, which I think is very cute. Yeah, and then you have the usual sort of advertisement for this clique, this Fasnacht group, and where you can find them, and when they had their sort of tryouts for Fasnacht. So I'm gonna leave this here just to give them some credit. And yeah, that was it for today. Thanks so much for following along. I hope this was useful. Take care. Bye.